The evening after return from Carvajal, Eragon decided to test the stone as Murloc had. Book 1, Eragon. Chapter 5, Fate's Gift, and Chapter 6, Awakening. Welcome to Eragon and Back Again, a podcast where we explore Christopher Paolini's inheritance cycle, one chapter at a time. Or, in this case, 2 chapters at a time. I'm Darien and Smartt.
I'm Lucy Hart.
So, yes, today we're only on, episode 6?
Yeah.
And we are breaking our format, but that
I think
Lucy,
it's
tell them why.
reasonable. It's chapter 5 is 3 pages, and in the Audible book, give me half a second.
Was it 4 minutes long?
Fate's Gift is 4 minutes and 3 seconds.
It's one thing happens.
One thing happens, and one thing happens only. And understanding that it was literally for the purpose of dramatic effect. That is why the chapter ends so abruptly. That is why it's so short. It could have 100% just be combined.
Fate's
with
Gift could have been
Awakening.
Yeah.
That could have just been, it could have been just one chapter called, I really like Fate's Gift as a chapter title. So I can 100% do Fate's Gift as a Fate's Gift and Awakening as one chapter. That would have been, it would have made it 22 minutes.
Yeah, reasonable chunk.
So I'm like, that's
But here is what happens in these 2 chapters. The evening after the trip to Carvajal, Eragon is shocked to discover his stone is actually an egg when it hatches and out pops a brilliant blue dragon. Eragon quickly bonds with the creature, perhaps through magical means. First, he attempts to care for the dragon in secret, but as the dragon grows quickly in size, it's clear Eragon won't be able to keep this creature secret for long. He decides to tell Garo and Rowan about the dragon, but first he will go to the storyteller Bram to learn more about dragons and the dragon riders.
Yep. So it's we are finally.
I mean, it's only page 51, so it actually hasn't been that long.
It hasn't been that long, but we're finally we're done with the stone. It's not a stone, and that was something that I highlighted was in Awakening, but not a stone. He realized an egg, and it's finally.
Yeah, Eragon. Yeah, Eragon. But that's not even Eragon, because I actually think it's perfectly reasonable for him to think this is just a weird polished gemstone. Eragon is not at fault here. It's Paolini's insistence that this is the surprise. That's what it is. You're right. He wanted it to be a big dramatic effect. That's why the chapter ends with Eragon recoiled in shock, standing in front of him, licking off the membrane that encased it, was a dragon.
Yep.
Because
dun dun dun.
This is the first time acknowledging that it's an egg and it's a dragon, which, as we've talked about in our prologue episode, should have been established that it was an egg here, or at the very least, they should have never once called it a stone.
Yeah. And then, again, I get, I just feel it, in my heart of hearts, that it would have made such an impact for readers to be oh, the shade, it's an egg, and thus being oh my god, it's an egg.
But what kind of egg? And it's probably a dragon egg.
Yeah,
but...
and then it switches to Eragon finding a stone, and it's okay, stone, and then we know that it's an egg, and then this is oh, it's a dragon, I fucking knew it, or whatever, I knew the egg was a dragon or something.
It's a type of irony, but I can't remember. Dramatic irony.
Yeah.
When the audience knows something that the character doesn't know. But to the credit, it's only page 51, and that's oh wow, me looking at the
rest of the book.
The rest of the book. No, it's fine. So we're barely a sliver into the book.
Yeah.
So we get to so far the pacing has been very quick.
I think it has been
time.
Good.
Yeah. We didn't spend a lot of time of Eragon just doing his daily life on the farm.
Yep.
We didn't it gives us it's been successful in both giving us a taste of what Eragon's life is like before all these things break out. While also setting up pieces of even if Eragon had not gotten the stone.
Yeah.
Things about his life were probably going to change for the worse.
Yeah.
Because
because of the thing. We could talk about that more when the chapters come, but it's almost argued that the stuff that happens to Carvajal was because of Eragon. Actually, that's not necessarily That's not necessarily true. We will find out later.
Yeah, I think you can tell, like, because Eragon's one concern is like, there's no way I could just keep the dragon secret. If the Empire finds out I have it, they'll definitely kill us all.
That is what I highlighted that because I loved that so much because it kind of goes back to what we were saying in the last like couple episodes where Eragon despises the Empire and he's like, we can't let the Empire find this because that's really bad. And I think it does like. We don't realize that. I did listen to the next chapter because I wanted to be fully prepared. Yeah. But, like, we don't find out until the next chapter the weight of what Eragon has found really hits him. Right now, he's just like, I have an egg, and if the Empire, or I have a dragon, and the Empire finds out, oh my gosh, and I have to take care of this dragon. It's a really big responsibility. And we kind of get it when he says he faced a painful dilemma. By raising a dragon, he could become a writer. And like that, I think in and of itself, like it kind of goes in where he says myths and stories about writers were treasured, and being one would automatically place him among those legends.
Yeah, I think that circles back to Eragon's desire to be important.
Absolutely.
Because earlier in the previous chapter in Fate's Gift, he's reflecting on the stone still. He's like, all right, Murloc said it was hollow, but I can't open it, so I need some kind of magic. But I don't believe that a magician with enough power to transport the stone wouldn't be able to find it again. So was I meant to have it?
Yeah, he goes back to that question. He thinks about
that. Am I meant to have this? And so that like instinct of not like, why did it come to me? Am I meant to have it? The idea like, can it be destiny? Can it be fate's gift?
Is this important? Like, or am I important enough to have this? Yeah, absolutely.
I do want to talk briefly about like, Fate's Gift is such a funny chapter.
It's really good.
So goofy.
I do really like it's I definitely it is 100% 15-year-old hears a weird noise in his room. Like it just like gets up and he's like, what the hell was that? And then like grabs his knife and he's like looking around, he can't find it, and then he hears it again. He's like, what the hell?
And it's coming from the egg. And he just starts to he sees the egg or the stone. He's like, and he picks it up and like absently cradles it in his arms as he studied the room. A squeak rang out in his ears and reverberated through his fingers. It came from the stone. The stone had given him nothing but frustration and anger, and now it would not even let him sleep.
I know! I love that so much. It's such a good line.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Why? Why is it making this noise now?
It's like, first you scare off the deer that I'm hunting. You I can't even trade you for meat. The freaking trader won't take you. Like, you're just this nuisance, and now you're not letting me sleep.
Why are you peeping?
Are you kidding me?
Why are you squeaking and peeping? What? And at this point, I'm a little perplexed that Eragon doesn't realize it's an egg now.
Yeah.
Like, it takes him... I don't blame him before this. Obviously, there's no reason he should assume this isn't a giant egg at all. But now that it's, like, making noise, and especially when it starts to, like, rock back and forth later.
Yeah, and then the cracks start appearing. Yeah. Like, I would have been like, oh.
Yeah, like that it doesn't... I mean, we get to the chapter in, like, Awakening where it's like, oh, it's not a stone, he realized, but an egg.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's just, like, Eragon's lives on a farm. We know they have chickens. We've talked about the chicken.
Yep.
The chicken for breakfast.
Yep.
The breakfast chicken.
For breakfast.
The DoorDash chicken for breakfast. So he's seen eggs hatch.
Yep.
And so maybe it's just the idea of like him being so convinced this is like a stone.
Yeah.
That he just literally hasn't, just an egg.
Yeah.
But like, because I think like squeaking and rocking, I think it's weird that in this chapter he doesn't realize it's an egg and it's hatching.
Yeah. I think it's like he's so caught up in the magic of it that he's like, the stone itself is squeaking, nothing inside of it. Because the guy was like, oh, it's hollow. And so he's like, oh, there's nothing in it. It's literally the stone itself that is squeaking. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I'll give that to Eragon. Yeah. It's goofy, but I'll give it to him. I think it's just kind of funny. I'm like, you are a farmer. You have seen eggs hatch. Yeah. How long does it take you to realize it's an egg that's hatching? Fine, whatever, magic. I'm not going to give him too hard time. I do think this section is funny. It didn't need to be its own chapter. Like you said, Luce, I think, could have just been big, like that large space of paragraph break, and then the dragon was no longer than his forearm, yet it was dignified and noble.
Yep.
Like, that's incredible. I've never seen a newborn thing dignified and noble.
I know.
It doesn't matter what it is. They are
it's
weird
so good.
and pointed. But no, it's a dragon.
Like, he does kind of he does kind of say that it was weird because it says the dragon fanned its wing. They were what made it appear so contorted. So it does look lumpy. Yeah, I think being a newborns are lumpy.
Newborns are lumpy.
And so it's like, oh yeah, it is that awkward. And he also says, like, describing how it looks, which is why I was livid with the movie, by the way, because it says, where is it? Oh, I don't think it says it right here. But it does, like, talk about how, I think Eragon starts, he, like, messes with the wings. Not in a bad way. He just kind of touches the wings.
Just got membrane wings.
Yeah. He slid a finger over its thin wing membranes. They felt like old parchment, velvety and warm, but still slightly damp. And so it's like obviously skin stretched over membranes. Yeah. And the book or the movie is like feathers. I'm like,
feather wings. Yeah, that was a design choice. Let's make her so elegant. Yeah. But that's not the first time Eragon touches the dragon.
Yeah,
the first time he touches the dragon, it's like, I don't even know how to explain. I mean, the book does a pretty good job, but like he's like, the dragon's, checking him out, nibbling his sleeve. He pulled his arm back. A smile tugged at Eragon's lips as he looked at the small creature. Tentatively, he reached out his right hand and touched his flank. A blast of icy energy surged into his hand and raced up his arm, burning his veins like liquid fire. And it's this wild thing where just all of a sudden, like, incredible energy just, like, blasts through him, and it's, like, incredibly painful, and he can't move.
Yep.
And he's trying to, like, come back to himself, and he describes, like, this feeling of something brushing against his consciousness, like a finger trailing over his skin.
I highlighted that whole paragraph because I really like how Paolini describes the basically like mind sharing or telepathy or something like that. Like, and I think he does a really good job with it. And I think like even when I first read this, I was so captivated by the idea of it was as if an invisible wall surrounding his thoughts had fallen away. He was now free to reach out with his mind, and how terrifying,
scary
that could be.
Yeah. I love this thing he talks about, like how scary. Afraid that without anything to hold him back, he would float out of his body and be unable to return, becoming a spirit of ether. And I think that's a totally reasonable response for Eragon to have. Like, it's delightful because he's a little perplexed, but he's not scared of the baby dragon.
Yeah.
But he is incredibly freaked out by like this weird and this idea like his consciousness is no longer protected and sealed.
Yeah.
Like that is scary.
Yeah, because it's like for 15 years he has spent his whole life in his head, and now it's as if like those boundaries dropped and now he's open to the world, and I'm like, that is terrifying. Like that is actually crazy. I also funny aside, I do love the image of him touching the dragon and then like kind of like collapsing or whatever, and the dragon's just watching him like, You good, dude?
You good, man?
Because the dragon doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't happen to the dragon.
Yeah, because the dragon is just... He's glared suspiciously at the motionless dragon. So I just picture this dragon just watching him like, yo,
like a cat.
What's up?
Well, it could be like the dragon could be like a cat settles kind of still, and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Just like
I'm gonna stay very still.
Yep, absolutely. I do like how a scaly leg scraped against his side, and he jerked away. And I do like that because he's like, "Oh, I'm not going through that again," and then nothing happens. He's like, "Oh, okay, that was just a weird. Okay, that was just a weird thing that happened. I'm gonna pet you now." Yeah,
but it's all. I think it's interesting because it's like that's something brushing over his consciousness. It's like not only is that wall gone, but it's like Eragon's not alone in his head anymore. And it's very quickly like apparent it's the dragon. Yet again, the tendril touches his mind, but this time instead of curiosity, he sensed an overpowering, ravenous hunger.
Yep.
He got up with a sigh. And Eragon catches on quick.
Very quick.
He, like what happened to him like freaks him out. But immediately he gets what it is. He's like, all right, the dragon is hungry. Yep. I have to now feed my dragon.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. I'll think about. He's like, I'll think about whatever's going on.
He's like, I'm gonna just process this later.
We'll just set this in a box and we'll deal with it later. Okay, that's fair. Eragon, feed the dragon. And it does. You already talked about like his like dilemma, and he decides he's like, oh, it'll be easier. Or he thinks that it could be easier to kill it, and he's like, no.
He's like, that's absolutely no, can't do it. That's instantly awful. Yep.
Yeah, and he can't do it, even consider it. He doesn't even consider it. It's more just like a list of like, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this.
Yeah.
Like, that one, no, get rid of that.
Absolutely. Because it would be like, and that's the thing, like the simplest solution. It would be the simplest solution, but it is not an option.
Yeah.
Like at all.
And I think it kind of highlights that there is an instant deep bond between Eragon and the dragon. Like It's not just Eragon wants to protect it or he wants to keep it. The idea of killing it is like, I think the word used is like repugnant.
Yep. But the idea was repugnant. Yep.
Mm-hmm. He cannot do that. And I think that indicates like this is magic. There is something more here than just, oh, I have a dragon now.
Yep,
like, this
absolutely.
Like I just found a stray dragon. Like, no, there is a bond here. And I think Paolini does an excellent job in creating a bond in the reader with the dragon.
Oh, yep.
I like the dragon.
I like the dragon.
And it's... Go on.
Oh, no, go ahead.
And not just because, hell yeah, I was a dragon kid, but like, it's cute.
Yep.
And it's curious, and it's competent, and it's charming, and it's just like this little creature that, you know, is a little freaked out when Eragon leaves it alone for the first time. Yep. But Eragon notes like, okay, there's some feathers in here so it can get food by itself. Yep. So it's not like an annoying burden on us or the reader. We're like, oh, cool, we'll have to deal with the dragon until it becomes cool now. Like, no, instantly the dragon is something charming and endearing.
Yep. And I also like... There's one of the things that I think I'm a little biased because not only am I just love dragons in general, but when he's petting it and he's sitting there petting it, the dragon nuzzled him, arching its back like a cat, and I think that had something to do with
cat. Instantly describe it as a cat.
Describe it like a cat, and I'm like, all right,
Done.
and that like throughout like all the books that just continuously comes up, and I just love it. But yeah, no, I'm with you. Like the dragon is competent and just super cute because I love when he does leave it and it I also like kind of like leaves it in the tree. I do like how it's described of him making the little hollow too. Like I like how he just like makes it. It's really comfy and really nice and and then he leaves it and then he impresses the stay here. Stay here, and then like a dim acknowledgement came tentatively through the link. But Eragon, I also love this, but Eragon wondered if it really understood. After all, it's only an animal. And I just love that line because we're with Eragon. We're like, yeah, just like a cat. It's just
like,
a cat.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Do you understand? Like you're staring at me and you're slow blinking, but I don't know if you actually understand.
Yeah, do you
me
get
or not?
it? But I'm impressed that Eragon very quickly understands what that connection is. He's like telling the dragon like, okay, it'll be fine if you stay here, and it's like this dragon has not understood. Okay, let's lower the scary consciousness again and be like, stay. Just stay. Do you understand? It seems like I think it understands what I want.
Yeah.
And the dragon does. It doesn't leave that little space. And Eragon spends the next like 2 weeks or so, I think, like in this pattern, and the dragon gets so big. And
very quickly, over a month.
Yeah, over a month. I love how worried Eragon is so worried about the dragon. Like, oh my gosh, is it going to be able to survive the winter? What if something gets it? It's so small. Yeah. Like, and also, like, this chapter makes me like Eragon a lot more because he's into, like, I am responsible for this dragon. I can't keep it in here. So here's a nice space, but he's spending all night like, oh my god, 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 oh my god.
Literally, like, when he, I can't remember where it was, but it's like when he goes to sleep for the first time, and that night he brooded about all the things that could happen to a small and unprotected animal. Thoughts of ice storms and vicious animals tormented him. And I'm like, I'm with you. Like, his dreams were of foxes and black wolves tearing at the dragon with bloody teeth. And I'm like, yep.
He's like, first thing he wakes up in the morning, I gotta go check it. And the dragon's fine.
And the dragon's like, cool. And like scared because first night alone, probably out in the cold, but it was probably fine with the cold. But like, yeah, like I'd be scared too. But it's like,
good, you're back.
Yeah. And like, I think like, he was watching the sunrise from high in a tree. So was spooked, but not like terrified. Wasn't hiding in its little tree hole. It was out and about and alert.
And I love the passage where with the dragon, Eragon just like kind of like sets it on his shoulder and like showed the dragon what he knew about the forest, not caring if it understood his meaning. It was a simple act of sharing that mattered.
Yes.
And I love that. And like the dragon gazed back at him with bright eyes, drinking in his words. And just this connection of sharing and just talking to the dragon, bonding with this little creature. It's so good.
It's when really good.
When Eragon goes home, he's conscious of the 2 hard blue eyes drilling into his back, indignant at being left behind. Like, how dare you leave me here by myself again?
Exactly. Like Vivi, whenever I go to work and I'm like, have a good day. And he's just staring at me. I'm like, I can't bring you with me. You would hate it. You would absolutely hate it.
Hate it.
Look at that.
Yeah,
he knows.
Vivi's with us today. Little blue-eyed dragon. Oh, Vivi's not a dragon cat. We've discussed this. He's a goblin cat.
Oh yeah,
there
100%.
Are two different. Listener, if you are a cat person, you understand when we say dragon cat or goblin cat.
He's a goblin cat. Look at that face. He's so mad. He knows we're talking about him, and he's so grumpy.
But I love that it's the word indignant, where it's not like scared or angry, just more just like. How dare you? Like, we hung out all day long, and now you're just gonna leave.
You're just gonna leave me.
But the dragon's like, I know you'll be back, and I know I'm safe, but I'm still offended.
I'm still mad. Yep, absolutely. And then like the next couple of the weeks go by, and I like how it's a smooth routine was quickly established of how like Eragon would come feed it or whatever, and go do chores and come back and do all these things. Yeah,
and his uncle and cousin are like, hey, you're spending a lot of time outside. Like, he's like, I have no idea how to answer that question because it's wintertime. If it was summer, you probably wouldn't notice.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, I like how, and started checking to make sure he wasn't followed to the tree. It's like, yep.
But the fact that he never is, I think it indicates, like, that his family, like, has noticed, like, oh, you're spending more time outside. And that's good, because I think it is just show that they notice Eragon and are 100%. Aware of what Eragon does. But they aren't, like, Garrow and Rowan are not curious people. Like, if the stone had appeared before them, they would have left it. They would not have gone near 100%. It. And not even out of fear. They would have just been like, none of my business.
Yep.
And so with Eragon, like, he doesn't actually have to worry about his uncle or cousin following him because they aren't going to.
Yeah. I also think it has, like, they don't distrust him.
Yes. So, like, yeah, exactly.
They're like, all right, he can do whatever. Like, he like, does his chores. He comes home at a reasonable time. Like, they're and I just think it's like Eragon's just being a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah. Whatever he's doing, it's fine. Like, absolutely. I don't need to know. I'm not worried.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that is interesting. I like he just... What do I want to talk about? Oh, the contact is just getting stronger and stronger, and he starts to be able to feel it from like 3 leagues away. And he's like, it was he's like, because he communicate with words, but like images and emotions. It was an imprecise method, and he was often misunderstood. I do wish we expanded on that like a little more. I would love to have a little bit of a comedic thing of like the dragon not understanding and Eragon having to like, oh no, Roran's here, you can't do it, no, and like trying to like keep his cousin from seeing dragon.
Yeah. Hey, like freaking How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh yeah.
When Toothless's thing gets caught and like Astrid comes over. Oh, Astrid, hi Astrid, hey Astrid.
And like, gets dragged
just gets pulled out of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. That is the scene I was picturing. Thank you, Lucy.
Yep.
I could see it in my head, but I was like, what is this image?
Yep. How to Train Your Dragon. Yep.
How to Train Your Dragon. Yep.
But no, I agree. I also really like how it's described, because like you mentioned earlier, just like the mind connection, it being like weird and new and things like that, and how he talks about how these mute conversations filled his working hours, but like when he talked with people, the contact was distracting, like a fly buzzing in his ear. And so it's something new that he hasn't really gotten used to yet. And it's like he's not alone in his head anymore, is what you were saying. And that's like having that constant presence is something that he has to deal with now. And he's just like, oh my God, sometime, like, please stop. But can't stop.
Can't stop. And I like how it's like, Helene demonstrates that it does go both ways. Because it's not just, because he mentions... Where is it? Soon Eragon could contact the dragon anywhere within 3 leagues. He often did so, and the dragon in turn would lightly brush against his mind. So like he's checking in on the dragon, and the dragon will also check in and be like, you there? Okay.
He's like, yeah, you good? Okay, we're good.
Yeah, like in the fact that it is not just like Eragon checking in on that, the dragon is like sharing this back and forth, and it elevates like the sense of like intelligence. Like Eragon's still like, this is just an animal. They have like needs and stuff. But the fact that the dragon is like, will check back
consciously,
and be like, yep, here I am.
Yep.
There you are.
And I think that's something that we see before Eragon does. That this dragon is highly intelligent, like super intelligent.
Yeah.
I did highlight as the dragon matured, it squeaked deep into a roar, and the humming became a low rumble. Yet the dragon did not breathe fire, which concerned him.
Yeah,
and
he's like,
Yeah, and I think like that's like Eragon like just ticking off information he knows about dragons is like, okay, bigger, yep, roaring, yep, just the rumble, that's new, but okay, it's coming, that's deepening, but not fire yet.
I see smoke. No, it is kind of like a parent who's like, they haven't started walking yet. when are they supposed to walk?
Yep.
Have I done something wrong? Should I be concerned? Is there something more I can be doing?
Yep.
I don't know enough. When does the dragon breathe fire?
Yep.
And I love that it's not like, concerned of like, you're supposed to do this. It is like a little bit of a parental like,
yeah, absolutely.
When are you supposed to breathe
It's like
fire?
You're supposed to. There's never a hint of flame.
Am I not doing enough? Oh no.
Yeah.
I need to talk to someone.
I need
help.
He can't Google.
He can't just Google. Honestly, probably for the best.
Yeah, probably.
Aaron whipping out his phone. When do dragons breathe fire?
Yeah, right.
So Eragon's gonna go to the only person that knows anything about dragons. Also because the dragon's getting too big to hide.
Oh, yep.
It's very obvious that there's a large creature in the woods now.
Absolutely. Just kind of going with that, like, I love that Paulini made the dragon real. Like, dealing with... And I love the whole paragraph describing, despite Eragon's effort, the forest around the farm filled with signs of the dragon's existence. It was impossible to erase all the huge four-clawed footprints sunk deep into the snow. And he refused to even hide the giant dung heaps that were becoming far too common. I'm like, yeah, yep. And then I like how... the dragon had rubbed against trees, stripping off bark, and had sharpened its claws on dead logs, leaving gashes inches deep.
Cat.
100%. If Garrow or Roran went too far beyond the farm's boundaries, they would discover the dragon. And I just love that it's like, yeah. Like, and I think like that for Eragon, it probably solidifies animal behavior because it is acting like an animal.
A predator, specifically.
Yeah, exactly. And so... so I do really like that Paulini went in. Like Paulini's just great at like going in depth with like broadening the world and like making it real and showing, not telling.
Yeah.
And I think like just like these little snippets we get, like even of Eragon's life, it kind of continues to the dragon's life and how the dragon is living and just like doing things. And I really like how that was like, yep, this is realistic, like 100% realistic.
Feels like an animal.
Yep.
And then I also like and just that this is another thing that makes me like Eragon more is that he's like, okay, my uncle and cousin are definitely going to find out about this dragon, and like he's like, he can't imagine a worse way for the truth to come out, for them to just discover there is a dragon. He's like, I gotta tell him.
Yep.
But he's like, I need to be totally prepared because they're gonna have questions, they're gonna be upset, and I need to convey to them that I know how to take care of a dragon, that I know what we can expect, that I have a plan.
Absolutely.
And so he's like, I gotta go to Braum and ask the questions, but also he wants to name the dragon.
Yes.
It's so important that he introduces the dragon with a name to solidify that this isn't just like random scary beast.
Yes.
This is my dragon.
Yep.
We don't have that name yet.
We don't have the name yet. Yep.
But speaking of like my dragon, the chapter ends with like a heightening of stakes almost when like he goes to see the dragon before leaving for Carvajal, and it's the first time like a single word rang out in his head, deep and clear: Eragon. It was solemn and sad, as if an unbreakable pact were being sealed. He stared at the dragon, and a cold tingle ran down his arm. Eragon. And it's like the dragon knows his name.
Yep.
Like specifically knows him.
Yep.
And it freaks him out. He like runs home trying to escape the dragon.
Yep.
My dragon.
Yep.
Eragon.
And that's like, I really like, for the first time, he did not think of the dragon as an animal. It was something else, something different. It's like, yep, because that was the first time like the Eragon, the dragon can use words to converse, and that's like, holy cow.
Yeah, it just literally, it just hadn't learned them yet.
Yeah.
Because it's baby.
It's baby.
And baby first words were Eragon.
The dragon's first words were mama.
Yeah, exactly that. Oh.
Brilliant.
I think that's so interesting. Yeah, and then that is the chapter. And so like, it's so good at making you like these two characters.
Oh, 100%.
Like, these are our protagonists. We are stuck with them for the rest of this series.
Yep.
And at this point, I like them so much.
Yeah, and I do like when Eragon is like, I need to tell my family about this. He's 100% like, I'm going to tell my family about this.
Yeah, he's going to do it.
And he's going to try because he wants to keep the dragon. He wants to keep his dragon.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know what that means, but he wants to. And I think like that's just leaps and bounds for Eragon, showing that he trusts his family.
Yes.
And He's like, he knows it's going to be hard because he also knows his family. And he knows Garo is going to...
Not going to be jazzed about the dragon.
Yeah, is not going to be, like, super thrilled about this. But Eragon's like, no, like, I can communicate with the dragon. I have, like, me and the dragon have an understanding. The dragon goes hunts in the spine specifically. Like, doesn't touch any of the farm animals. Like, does this stuff that just chills in the forest. Like, it's okay kind of thing.
Yeah, like, it'll get bigger, but it'll be big enough to protect us from any danger. So eventually, if we keep the dragon long enough, it will protect us like we've protected it. Because Eragon isn't sure. Like, I don't know if this is a boy dragon or a girl dragon. He tries to figure it out. He's like,
I love that whole scene of him trying to flip the baby dragon over, trying to find something, and it's like, what are you doing?
He's like, well, I guess I'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter right now. Yeah, and he does keep the dragon secret initially, and his whole plan is, like, even from the jump, he's like, I will tell my family.
Yep.
When the dragon is too big for them to get rid of it.
Exactly. I mean, that is definitely...
Tell them now, it would be too easy for them to try to get rid of it.
That is definitely...
So I'll just wait until it's old enough that it can't get rid of the dragon.
And that is such a kid thing, too. I'm just going to hide this until I can't hide it anymore.
Yeah. And I think that also makes Eragon very likable, because I think it demonstrates that he does trust his family.
Oh, 100%.
Just like his family trusts him. We talk about them not following him.
Yep.
Like, Eragon's being Eragon. He's like, all right, I have to figure... And he's like, knows his family enough that he can't just be like, here's a dragon. I don't know what it means. That'll freak him out. So he's like, has a plan of like, I will figure out what this means. And then I like him not keeping secrets from his family, because I think that is such an annoying trope.
Yep. And he doesn't lie to them. When they ask, why are you spending so much time in the woods, he just kind of shrugs and walks away. So he doesn't necessarily lie to them, which also I really like.
Yeah. So I think this chapter just does a really good job of like making like us, and me specifically, like, I like Eragon a lot.
Yeah.
I like kind of was like, all right, I'm still like reading my protagonist and trying to figure it out. But like this chapter, seeing how he wants to care for the baby dragon and protect it, and is responsible and worries for it, and is also responsible enough to his like the what he owes his family.
Yep.
And isn't wanting to put them out, and is like, okay, I'm gonna handle this as responsibly as I can.
Yep.
And I think that's just impressive, and it really establishes like, okay, I think this is a character that I'm not gonna mind hanging out with.
Oh yeah.
We'll see if he ruins it later. But for now, I like
super
Eragon.
Chill. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, kind of going back with what you said about like helping protect the farm and them, and I think like Eragon could spin it that way, in a way that, because like it's mentioned before, like if anything were to happen to them, they're kind of screwed because they're just so far out of Carvajal. But they're like, hey, if we have a dragon, we don't have to worry about that
Imagine
anymore.
how much better hunting would be if we had a dragon. I wouldn't have lost any of those deer if we had a dragon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think like Eragon really has a solid case. But again, like what you said, he wants to understand before presenting his case.
Yeah, his family's going to have objections.
Absolutely.
So he needs to be able to counter any of those questions, any of those objections.
Yep, 100%.
So yeah, and I think also what these two chapters do really well is balancing the magic and the unknown with something very concrete and real. It's like how you pointed out, Lucy, the dragon is behaving like an animal.
Yep.
A creature we can understand. So we are immediately given like, it's a dragon. It's so mysterious and ethereal and perfect. We could never comprehend. No. It's a giant beast, and it eats, and it has claws it's going to sharpen, and it poops. And also Eragon can talk to it with its mind.
Yep. And it like rubs it like rubs its scales on trees, probably itching. Yeah, you know, so
I've seen a cat do this, like and making it, I think, doing a good job of, as we are introduced to the first concrete, like magical thing.
Oh, 100%.
Still making it, giving us a world that is grounded. And it's a really good balancing act.
I think so too.
Luz, what is our writing takeaway from this one? I think.
I think I'm gonna go off kind of with what you just said with just because something is super magical doesn't mean that it has to be not understood. Like it can be written in a way that we can understand in a simple way. Like it doesn't have to be this elegant, fascinating, like mind-boggling thing. It can literally be like, oh, big blue cat.
yeah, I like that a lot. Like, especially if this is a creature we are meant to spend a lot of time with.
Yeah.
It would not do well to be like, Eragon must spend chapters and chapters trying to piece together its behavior and how it, like, especially like, no, they are going to be bonded.
Yep.
And that's important. Yeah, I think that's good.
Yep. Before we end the episode, though, I do want to share what the audio...
Hold on. I know you do.
Yes, so bad, but
do we want to wait until we actually get proper talking? Because I think this time it's still like baby's first word.
It's... I'll tell you how my reaction to it is, and then we can go from there. Because when I first read the book, I think I read it like twice. I think I read Eragon twice before I got the audiobook, because then I kept trying to read it and I just couldn't get back into it. So I'm like, I want to experience this again, but I can't. So discs. And I remember being so excited for
the dragon.
I remember being so excited for the dragon.
Name before, but whatever, we're moving on now.
Yes, I just remember being so excited to hear the voice for the first time, and I was like pins and needles waiting for the first word, and then I heard it, and I was like, no.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, if this is, we should share it now.
And then it was just like, I'm like, no, that can't be.
If it's this terrible from the jump.
Yeah, and I was like, it can't be this for the full thing, can it? And then that was like later when the dragon has more lines. I was like, oh my god, it is. And I can share that too. But it's just, anyone who's listened to the audiobooks knows what I'm saying. I don't know if anyone has like the same experience that I do, but oh my god. So hold on, there it is.
Ah! I just heard it. That was so bad.
On its shoulder and tried to radiate peace and serenity. Scales bumped under his fingers as he patted it gently. A single word ran in his head, deep and clear. Eragon.
Yep.
Nope. No, that's not it. That's not it.
It was...
Deep and clear is not raspy and rumbly.
Eragon.
No, it's a dragon speaking in his mind.
Yeah, and
it doesn't have to sound like what a dragon would sound like if it spoke. It's in its head.
Yeah, and I think like I think I understand, because even when the dragon speaks, Eragon does not still can't tell it's the whether it's male or female. Like,
which fair, but it's the
rasping grumble in the throat that. Like, I remember hearing that and being, like, little, like, young me being so disappointed. I was so disappointed. And I was like, this can't be the whole book. This can't be the whole book. And I even remember, like, telling my mom about it, and my mom being like, I am so sorry. Because I was so disappointed.
You're so upset.
And that was, like,
Lucy.
Yeah, and that was, like, the one thing with the movie. I was so nervous about waiting for the dragon to talk. And then the dragon talked, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be that.
Let me look up the voice actor for Rachel Weisz was the voice of the dragon in the movie, which I like that.
It was and I just I also like felt for the narrator. I can't remember the dude's name. Who is it? Gerald Doyle. Like, I just felt so bad for him.
He has to talk like
because he has to talk like that, and like he must have like 30 glasses of water so he can drink. But it's just, oh man,
choices were made, not choices we agree with, but
but
well, I think combining these two was a good call, Lucy. Thank you for that.
Yeah, because I was just like, it just felt weird not to combine them, because they literally acted like one chapter more or less. So
I agree,
absolutely.
I agree. So, listeners, thank you so much for listening to these episode and for letting us break our format just from the jump. It'll probably happen more.
If we come across any more chapters that are like that short, that can be combined, yes.
Yep, I'm sure we probably will. We've got many books ahead of us.
Yes, we do.
Awesome. Well, until next week, she's Lucy Hart.
And she's Darien Smartt.
And this is Eragon.
And back again.